Can I hear the intro?
You need it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. You don't listen to this? Do you not listen to this over the break?
Oh, I actually have it, an implant. That does. Oh, good for you. The double pumping.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Neither do I.
Do you
Do yoga? Sure, once in a while.
You do yoga?
Yeah.
You do not.
No, I work on a recumbent bicycle for 40 minutes. And
A recumbent?
yeah, recumbent, like I'm sitting. Oh, I did that thing I hate. Like I said, like I'm sitting. Oh gosh, I can't stand it. It's actually
that wasn't so bad.
that wasn't. What did I come up to today with the word intemperate?
I'm still on recumbent.
Recumbent.
Is that different than stationary?
It's stationary, but you sit. You're seated rather.
So there's no handlebars.
Rather than you're there are handlebars, rather than you're on a bike. You're seated.
Yeah.
And you have a bicycle.
So what's the difference between that and a regular stationary bike?
Your back is more supported.
Is it one of those Pelotons?
No.
You didn't get that.
No.
Those are fancy.
No, Peloton is fancy.
That's what I mean.
I'm, old.
You built it yourself.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm just having fun. I've been exercising. That's been
I
my
can
new
tell
thing.
you look. You actually look good, and whatever you're doing with your
What am I doing?
with your beard, you're cutting it closer to your face.
Well, my wife made me. I was actually really furry, and she had enough.
Yeah.
She's not a mountain man kind of lady.
No,
she likes,
neither is my wife.
Yeah, she likes long hair, but she likes clean shaven. So this is the best she's going to get.
Yeah.
But when I shave clean, I get carded, and I'm 50, and it's weird. And most people would be like, "Oh, you're so lucky. That's great." But no. And plus, I have no chin. Thanks, Mom, Dad.
Let's see. You have a chin.
Well, I have one.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not attractive. But you have one.
God damn it!
What?
I don't know.
So here's what I'm pissed off about.
Oh boy.
I got up this morning and I went. I don't think we've had anything like this.
Like what?
Well, I mean, we are, for all intents and purposes, at war. Are we not?
That's nice, right?
Nice.
Well, it's just one guy that wanted it.
Well, I want to tell you a story.
Oh boy.
That really threw me. My son and I were driving home from this thing we were doing yesterday, and he told me a story about sitting. He sits in the front row in this one class, and one of the things he was worried about was that someone was going to throw open the door and fire something.
Well, that's been the thing for it's been our own problem besides, foreign entities. You mean like the war is going to affect him at school?
That someone is actually going to throw open the door and do something.
Not many generations have not had to deal with that. We used to get under the desks.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I remember the first drill. I actually remember that.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 50.
Oh.
I'm 51 next month. I know.
Just skip it. Go to 52.
I should.
Because 51 is hard.
Is it?
Oh.
It's not sexy.
No.
No. It's 50.
Well, maybe with your new shorn beard and your chin, you could surmount that.
You want to hear about my regimen before we get into the depressing stuff?
No.
All right. So here it is. I'm doing one of those couch to 5Ks. So
I'm going to leave.
So I did the couch for 30 years.
The couch to what?
Couch to 5K. They're pretty common now. It's like you can get an app called Couch to 5K. Basically, it puts you on a program from going from nothing, just a
couch
goo, to running a 5K in 8 weeks.
In the couch?
No. You're getting off the couch right away.
Oh,
yeah, moving away from the couches.
Move from the couch?
Day one. You just start to run, but you're listening along, You can play music. And it says, walk now for a minute and a half, and then it'll say, begin running, and then you begin running. And I'm on a treadmill doing
What's this app?
Couch to 5K.
Okay, I guess I'll look at it.
And it's working.
I think I'm going to get the app Couch to Couch.
Couch to where you go from couch to couch?
Mm.
Yeah. Couch to Netflix?
Yeah.
Couch to Netflix. Fine.
Very good. Very funny.
That's just Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a couch to Hulu?
That's just Hulu.
Oh.
Yeah. They're just assuming you have a couch.
So you don't find that shocking that he had that thought?
No. Because welcome to America. You know what I mean? Like, why should these kids live in this bubble of, everything is wonderful? We've never had that. Not many groups have had that.
Well, I had it with General Dwight.
You felt safe?
Yeah. That's General Dwight. What?
Yeah.
It was only till the first time I ever encountered it was the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Right.
Wait a minute. No, you're right. Before we did get under the desks. Well, it was before that.
I mean,
do you know how many people are turning off this podcast?
No, this is really this is good stuff. Listen, I worry about that. I do. I worry, like, are we just boring? People seem to think we're not, but
a lot of people don't think we are.
Well, a lot of people don't listen. Most people don't listen.
Well, there's a nice tone.
Well, if you're listening right now, you're in a special club.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome aboard.
We just had our 1200th listen. It's not terrible.
No, it's not.
Well,
and we're going to do more.
We do no
and
advertising.
January 23rd, we're going to have the illustrious Mr. Cavett. I don't think I can call him Dick Cavett. In which I'm very, very nervous about. I do not get nervous, but I am very nervous about interviewing him.
Completely get nervous. You had your class. You were so anxious and nervous about your class, which is weird because you do that.
Mm.
Like
we're starting next week.
You have another class session going on?
Yeah.
How long?
There's a 6-week session and a 13-week session.
All right. Well, this should be up in a couple of days. So if you live in the Connecticut, Western Connecticut area,
yeah, drop on by.
Sign up
at the Ridgefield Playhouse.
Take the class. What do you do?
It's a creative workshop where I have writers and actors and musicians and directors, and it's a creative workshop. It's not about, I'm going to do a good scene and then I'm going to get a pilot. Did I ever tell you I had a student who actually became a pilot?
You've actually...
a number of times.
Probably the 12th time you mentioned it on this podcast.
Ouch.
It's all right.
And
people really want to hear from this guy now because
you can't because this is all a lie.
Is it all
no,
made up?
No. He actually is a pilot, and he actually directed something of note. I haven't heard from him since. And then, this sounds like self-promotion.
That's fine.
It's a wonderful, wonderful film.
That you're in?
No.
So then why is it self-promotion?
It's a wonderful film. I recommend it to everybody called Farewell.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And actually, Awkwafina won the Golden Globe for it.
Is that a person?
Yeah.
Awkwafina?
I think that's
Awkwafina. Isn't that not a water brand?
No, it's a Asian name, and she's fabulous in the film, and she won the Golden Globe.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Hi,
my ex-student.
Oh, thank you for the crinkling right in the mic there too.
My ex-student, Miss Lulu Wang, extraordinary, directed that film.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So it is possible to come out of your class.
Oh gosh, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying how wonderful that is.
Okay.
The tragedy of that whole thing, not tragedy, but shit, there were some really good films directed by women that they didn't even get on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen Little Women.
Is it out? Is
Greta
it out already?
Gerwig, yeah. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, is it?
As is Lulu Wang's Farewell. It's a masterpiece.
It's on our
It's
list.
it's not on the list.
We don't go to movies.
I know you go to a stage place.
We go to plays and we go to musicals.
Yeah.
We just saw Slave Play. Have you seen this?
No.
I haven't seen this. I know you haven't seen it.
I saw.
Wow.
I told you. Oh, since we met, I went to see our friend Harry Potter.
You saw it. Did you
I
see
did
her?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go back?
Yeah, my back has been out since.
Because you sat there for 12 hours?
Oh my God,
It's a long one.
It's a long one.
Yeah. It's really, really well done.
Oh,
But if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you're sort of lost.
I had no idea what they were talking about.
Right. The whole time I'm like, I feel like I'm not included.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would look at my kids who were beaming and wonderful.
The production's incredible.
And the people who would order things, where you can order stuff to your seat now. You can order, I think, filet mignon.
You can order to your seats?
Yeah.
That didn't happen when I saw it.
Oh.
Maybe I wasn't in the good seats.
Were you upstairs?
No, never.
You were downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, you can.
Wow.
At least where we were.
How was Diane?
She was fabulous.
She's great.
I didn't recognize her.
Really?
Yeah. But she's fabulous, and she's a fabulous person.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
How do you know her?
We have a common friend. My good friend Mason. I've mentioned him before. We mentioned him when Dan was here. And when I was telling him about this podcast, he's like, "Oh, I know this person. You should get her." And so that's what happened. So
why didn't we get him?
We can get Mason. Mason would love to come on and talk to you. Mason's. I sent you an article that he wrote.
Wait, is that Mason?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read it yet.
Well, hopefully he's not listening.
I need I'm writing a book.
Well, that's why I sent you that.
And I need not a ghostie.
Oh, you're opening a can of worms. You really want this going out there? You want all the ghosties writing you and saying, "I'll write your book"?
And I'm looking for a ghostie.
Okay.
I had a ghostie, but the ghostie vanished, as ghosties do.
Wasn't that ghostie here?
What? Huh?
Wasn't there? Yeah.
And because her publication date got changed, and
was that a ghost joke you just made, by the way?
Disappeared?
Vanished. Ghost. Anyway. Do you tell jokes? You never told me a joke.
No.
I
only know one joke.
Let's hear it.
Old Mr. Cohen comes home, and Mrs. Cohen yells from upstairs, Herbie, come upstairs and fuck me. And Herbie yells back, I can't do both. Well, we're going to edit that one out.
I don't think so.
No?
That's a good solid.
Who did that make laugh? It made somebody laugh.
It was me.
It was either David Mamet or Mel Brooks. It made somebody laugh, and I went, that's a funny joke. And I'm not good at jokes.
I think you could be.
I'm not. I'm not. No. I don't have that delivery. Those guys who stand up and how they. Oh, that's very interesting. Have you seen Joker?
No.
Oh, you really don't watch movies.
I don't.
Oh,
you know what happened?
What do you do?
I don't stop. You know me.
I know. You do.
What do? I've been making music again.
Yay!
I sold. I've been. You know what I've been doing in my life? Yeah. Consolidating.
What does that mean?
In every facet of my life, I've been cutting out too much, and I don't stop. Like I don't know if it's my age and sensing death or whatever it is, but just you know, just doing stuff. So like I used to.
But I think that's correct.
I think it's not like I'm saying like.
Yeah.
I've always been a big sports fan, pretty across the board. I always knew what was going on in just about every sport except maybe, cricket. And okay, it's just so unprofessional. And do you know how to make? Oh, thank you. Do you know how to make that go away?
It said you rang your phone from keys.
So it was my fault.
Oh.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I followed all my life sports, right? And I just stopped. and I just follow one sport,
Which is?
hockey.
Hockey,
I'm a New York Rangers fan.
Yeah.
If there's any New York Rangers administration out there,
I used to have a connection. I don't know if I have it anymore.
MSG higher ups,
Yeah.
you want to come on the podcast?
Sure, that'll be the inducement that gets us through the door.
They all live up here.
I told you that I went to
Capo Caco lives somewhere nearby with his
I'm
host
sorry,
family.
who?
Capo Caco.
It's an ailment, isn't it?
It's actually the new Rangers. He was the second pick in the draft.
I'm sorry, sir, to tell you this, but you must get your affairs in order. Why, doctor? I'm afraid I have to tell you have capo caco.
Yeah. You see, you tell jokes.
That's not a joke.
Sure, that's a classic. That's like
Capo caco. What kind of name is that?
Finnish.
Ah.
That's like,
Anyway, when I first went to my first game, they set us really nice seats behind the bench, and I did not know until that moment, because I'd only seen it on television, that they have the platoon system. I thought those guys were in all the time.
Yeah, we had talked about this once, and no, because they really can't be out there for much more than a minute.
Really?
They get exhausted.
Yeah.
The game is
That's
so
how I feel about the podcast.
fast
by the
paced,
way.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, we should have a platooning system.
we should and
Yeah.
get people talented.
Get Dick Cavett next to you, and then we'll move over to.
Mr. Cavett.
So we can't call him Dick Cavett? You've been told this?
No, I'm going to call him Mr.
You're just
Cavett.
terrified.
Mm-mm.
You're not terrified
No.
of meeting Dick Cavett?
What's the worst that could happen?
He could kick you? I don't know. You could accidentally
What I liked about him
yeah.
is that whenever he was such a breath, he is such a breath of sanity
Yeah.
and wit and humor and smart as shit
Yeah.
and uses the language beautifully. So I'm afraid I'm going to err, which is the correct pronunciation.
I'm not worried about that. I think you'll be fine.
If I'm not, we won't put it up.
I think we will. But come on out. You can buy tickets. This is people don't know this is a live thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Not live on here.
We're inviting people to listen in. Come to the Ridgefield Playhouse, January 23rd. I think tickets are $20.
Yeah,
I mean, $20.
Cheap. That's
That's
basically
like Starbucks stuff.
it's like 5 to see you and 15 to see him.
Second funniest thing you've said today. Today.
It's a math joke.
Yeah. So you got it about my. Then the second thing that upset me this morning is that I don't know if I should bring this up, but I'm sure the person won't be listening to the podcast. My chances are she will. Kids are really shitty to each other, aren't they?
Are you talking about siblings?
I'm talking about.
Oh, just like kids being mean in school.
I'm now your friend. No, I'm her friend.
Yeah. They're crazy impulsive.
And I don't mean to be sexist here.
Yeah.
But my daughter actually said this to me, and she is as liberal as you get. Girls are tough.
Yes. And I taught middle school. And
Oh, you did? What did you teach?
Music.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a middle school music teacher, yeah.
Wow, you've had an extraordinary past.
I've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of my students.
Not to mention that time in prison. That couldn't have been easy. How long was that?
It was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
5 minutes is fine.
it was
Then
a
you're in, you're out.
Conjugal thing.
I didn't like that joke that Ricky Gervais
Which
said
one?
about Felicity Huffman. I thought that was cheap. Oh, you're laughing, so.
It you know what? He's the he just like I think he's really honest. He doesn't care.
I don't know. Listen.
My mother didn't care for his bit either. I liked it. Yeah, I know.
I've changed my mind about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it's I mean, I'm sure she's a nice person,
She is a nice person.
but you can't do that.
And like all of us have made errors. You ever made an error in your
She's
life?
become a poster girl for something that people have been doing for a long time, and it's not fair to her. And then all these other people got away with it, but it's a pretty crappy thing.
Yeah. They're good people.
Yeah,
and good people make mistakes.
Yeah, they do.
What would you rather have for president, Felicity Huffman or Donald Trump?
Oh, well, I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, for my concern right now is that you're going to spill coffee all over my computer because he just dripped a little bit. So I'm freaking out. Teresa's not. Could you hand me those paper towels there, sir? Sir is Matt. Matt is here in the studio. He likes to, I don't know, what does Matt do?
What does Matt do?
Matt does everything these days.
Matt smiles at my jokes.
Matt's taken over the, see, because you're funny.
Oh, am I funny, Matt?
So.
Am I funnier than, let's say, Steve? Let's say?
Nah.
We're going to have Kirsten Maxwell.
Yeah.
Come in. And she's going to play. I was rude. I asked her to play something. You know, she fronts for a lot of people, but right now she's fronting for Judy Collins.
What do you mean? Oh, opening for? Really?
Yeah.
Judy Collins is still doing it.
I love Judy Collins.
Yeah.
Judy Collins' third album changed my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. As is Joni Mitchell's Blue album. Yeah. Which is one of the great, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, the Joni Mitchell is a life changer.
Have you seen the documentary on Linda Ronstadt?
I didn't watch it yet, no. I'm sure it's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
She was talented from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you listened to the Dolly Parton podcast?
Not yet.
Oh, that's worth listening to. That's as good as it gets. Oh, yeah. That's about the best thing.
Is that all about survival and?
No, it's her life story. It's Judd Abendroth from Radio Lab, which is one of my favorite podcasts.
Oh, I love them.
He did a 9-part series with her, and it's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been. It's our
big,
in the car
fan
thing with
those,
the family.
Those
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Let's get him on.
You say let's get him on as if we have this staff.
Yeah, we do. We have Matt
it's
and Teresa.
You and I, Matt, Teresa.
Yeah,
and the guy, the barista at Starbucks.
Right.
Who's available only from 11 to 12.
Who's actually the only one doing anything.
Third funny thing you said.
So I'm in London.
What a segue.
You like that?
Yeah, it's nice.
You got to go fast. People expect.
Yeah.
I'm in London, and we're staying in this.
Very fancy.
No, just an Airbnb, but it was like it was one of those. It wasn't someone's place. It's like a auto hotel.
A garage.
No, not for autos, but like a hotel where there's no one there. You put in your combination, you get in the place, temporary combination to get in, and you're living there.
My mouth is agape.
Really? These are becoming pretty common.
I would never.
Why?
I don't know.
We can lock it from the inside.
I don't care where we can lock it from.
Well, I don't understand the problem.
I'd die in one of those things.
Why?
What do? You just walk in, you lock yourself in, you make and then you get up and leave?
You've been in a hotel before, right?
Hotel.
So we're there, right? And there's a TV, and I don't watch a lot of TV, but at some point you check out what the channels are, especially because you're in a different country, and we come back from a show. We saw a lot of shows on the West End, and the Love Boat is on. And it's immediately you. And I was so excited to see you on the Love Boat. And now I understand this is one of 2 characters you've played.
Not
a recurring character.
I was so ashamed of doing one, I decided to do 2.
Well, I mean, you got to eat.
You got to eat, and every actor will tell you never know what the last job is.
Okay, first of all,
and they offered me a good deal, but I never went on the cruise.
Wait, you can actually go on. There's
actually a cruise.
So I have some questions. So I'm 51, right? So I grew up as a adolescent when that show was as big as it gets, right? Love Boat, Fantasy Island was, I think, Saturday nights. That was the best. That was when they used to put on big shows on Saturday nights. People used to watch TV on Saturday nights. And so I have lots of questions.
Hit it.
All right. First of all, big stars on that episode. You were in a whole thing with Delta Burke. You were Delta Burke's love interest.
And Delta Burke for a while was my student.
Well, there you go. After? Must be after, right?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Before.
She was your student before.
Yeah.
So going into that,
Yeah.
you were very good. You know, you play that role. It is very good. I don't know the guy's name that was in that.
Jeffrey Tambor?
No, the guy who also liked her and was trying to get you away from her.
You know, I don't even know where my car is parked, and you're asking me something that happened 40 years ago?
It's parked right out there. I hope you.
I do remember at the end of the. Go ahead.
Well, who's the big star on that episode?
Gavin McLeod.
No. That's the star for who was the big guest star on that?
How do
one?
I know? Florence Henderson.
Joan Collins.
It was.
And that was, Gavin McLeod always got to, hook up with the pretty lady. And
Did I have a scene with Joan?
Completely different.
Who did I have a scene with?
Delta Burke.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't remember you having any scenes with any of the regulars.
Do you know the other episode I did?
I know about it. I haven't seen it yet, along with the seal.
Donald O'Connor,
Well, there you go.
who was also up in the list with Mr. Cavett,
Yeah.
top 10. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
make him laugh is one of the reasons I'm in the business of show.
Okay.
He was sitting there when I walked in, and he was sitting there with Sylvia the Seal,
Right.
who stank, by the way.
So I'm in London.
Oh, God. What the audience doesn't know is this is a re-record because Mr.
We're reenacting.
May I
our
call
conversation.
you
What?
Steve? Steven
my name.
pulled the wrong plug here.
I didn't.
You pulled the wrong plug.
You know what?
If there's ever a time for honesty in our country, it is this.
All right. So
Did you?
I didn't pull the wrong plug. I forgot to put in the right thing. We
Same.
should be good now.
Okay.
I'm in London with my family. We went over Thanksgiving. Pro tip.
I
good-
wonder what that means.
Good prices to go abroad during Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
But most people have somewhere to go for Thanksgiving. We really didn't. So we
Oh,
said,
nice.
let's go to
I
London.
thought when you did it, I went, wow, that's smart.
Well, we are smart. But it rained the entire time.
That's what you get.
It was cold. Like the entire time.
I'm so
It
sorry.
never, like the last day, it stopped raining.
Oh, my
It's one
God.
of the, like,
What
for
part
real.
of town were you in?
Kensington. Lovely, right?
Kensington or Tensington?
Kensington, by the parks, by Hyde Park,
Very nice.
very nice area. And in fact, so nice. I didn't realize how nice it was until I saw.
Can I just say that the coffee I'm drinking is the worst cup of coffee I've ever had in my life?
Well, we won't tell them where it's from.
No. Don't get smart.
We won't. I couldn't believe the realty prices.
Starbucks.
But which one? See that we're not gonna. I can't.
No,
throw-
we're
I
not
can't-
gonna say
no,
which one.
We're not gonna say which one. It's very expensive to live in London.
The one on campus.
Don't-
What? It is very expensive
crazy.
to live in London.
Like my apartment.
You know,
would
The
be
Death of
3
Stalin
times.
was filmed in London, and we lived down on the other side.
Yeah.
And
What,
I was
below the river?
amazed. Yeah, I was amazed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think our Airbnb was owned by a lord and lady.
Okay, so here you are. So you're in an Airbnb.
Mm.
So we got an Airbnb.
Okay.
We're doing this whole
Oh
conversation.
my God.
It's gonna be better this time.
I think so.
And it's an auto hotel, which is not a hotel for cars. I cut you off there. And
Why is it called an auto hotel?
I made that up because you do everything. There's no one.
Oh, they
there.
never said we're an auto hotel.
Right. Well, we were. Like usually an Airbnb is someone's place, right?
Uh-huh.
But we didn't want to do that. We had done that. And then they canceled on us and said, well, with Brexit coming, we decided to stop renting this to Airbnb. We're like, okay, whatever that means. So we ended up.
So a cat, let's
Yeah.
say a cat licking its paws, and your story about this Airbnb, which is more exciting?
Well, it gets good.
I'm going to go for the cat.
It gets good.
Yeah.
You know, it's an apartment. It's a full 2-bedroom apartment,
Meow.
right?
Yeah.
We can do purring sounds. I have,
Oh, no.
and I put on the TV, and there you are.
There I am.
Because
Hair? No hair.
Full head of hair.
Really?
No. When have I ever seen you with a full head of hair?
When have I ever seen me with a
Right.
full head of hair?
Didn't you have that? Didn't you have full head in Justice for All?
That was a week.
Right. Trivia. Right. Because you lost your hair young.
Young,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. So, have you ever found it?
Once in a while, there's scraps.
Nice. But it's not noticeable, just so you know. Anyway, it's Love Boat.
Can the audience say it? And I'm smiling because that was really funny. Go ahead.
So it's the Love Boat.
Yeah, it's Love Boat.
And I said, family, come in. Look, it's Jeffrey.
Exciting and new.
Right? So I grew up in that time where
Come
Love Boat was a big
aboard.
deal, and you didn't miss one. So I know I've seen it. Of course, I don't remember because I was like 12.
I don't remember. You
Well,
were 12?
You got to have some lovely romantic-ish scenes with the gorgeous Delta Burke. I only know Delta Burke from Designing Women.
Uh-huh.
So seeing Delta Burke I was like, wow, beautiful. Anyway, so you played. You were kind of I want to say a straight man. You weren't a straight man. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, you're very good, and you played it great. And so, but apparently you were on another episode,
Yeah, with Donald O'Connor,
right?
and whom I adored, and is one of the reasons I'm in the business, because he did a musical, and the song "Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Laugh." I would
show
watch
is that?
over and over. I have no idea. I can't remember.
But it changed your life.
But Gene Kelly was in it. She was in, and I think Debbie Reynolds was in it.
You're talking about Broadway?
No, film.
Oh, a film.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh.
What?
Singing in the Rain?
No,
No.
that's called Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
But that song is from Singing in the Rain.
Is it?
No, you mean Singing in the Rain is from that movie? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sing Laugh song is from...
Singing in the Rain. I don't know.
People listening and know what's going on in there.
There's no one now.
4 people are. Yeah.
Yeah, those 3 people we
Well,
lost.
if they had
one
heard the
just-
story the first time, they would have been there.
They so they cast me,
Yes,
and it was who?
it's from Singing,
Oh, Singing in the Rain. And
That's not Debbie Reynolds. in
I
Singing in
walked
the
up to him and told, I said, "Mr. O'Connor, you're one of the reasons I'm in this business. Make him laugh is, one of the most important things." And he went, "Oh, good." Literally. And he was sitting next to Sylvia the Seal, who smelled to high heaven.
Rain. And you're sure that wasn't Donald?
It was Sylvia because I don't think it was briny.
Okay.
So I don't think Mr. O'Connor immersed himself in brine in the morning. But the thing is that Sylvia the Seal.
Did she
At
swim to
fourth
work every
billing?
day because it was the Love Boat?
No, she had this Airbnb. It was a car B&B. It's funny because she doesn't drive. And she
It doesn't even make sense.
not only smelled, but she had better billing than I. I think she had 4th billing,
Yeah.
and I had 5th billing.
Well, I assume Donald O'Connor was first. And
You
Lily?
know, I don't know who was first. You mean guest stars?
Yeah.
I would imagine. Well, here's the thing. This is the story. So I also see this elderly woman, very nice, sitting very upright in a chair, with this elderly gentleman attending, with tea and this and that, and are you comfortable and everything like that. And I go over to the AD and I say, "Excuse me, do you know who that is?" And he looked down. He was a young kid. And he said, "Gish Lillian." And I said, "That Gish Lillian was the reason that the close-up was invented. D.W. Griffith, or Griffith D.W., invented that for her." And I went over and I sat with her. I said to the manager, may I sit with Miss Gish? And he went, "Oh, would you? Because no one knows who she is." And she was, except the cinematographer of the Love Boat was so nervous because that Miss Gish knew what she was doing. It was great.
So, see, you're feeling bad about yourself that you.
I'm not feeling bad.
Well, you were saying that you.
You know what I couldn't do is that Jack Jones sings love. Well, he doesn't do that.
He wasn't.
He does love, and you're supposed to turn your face to the camera and smile.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
Why?
I don't know what happened, but my neck sort of paralyzed. And I went, if I turn, then it's a deal. Although, and so if you see it, you must see it. It's a study in absolute psycho, pathness. Because I have a smile, but my eyes are the eyes of a serial killer. I was so scared.
Didn't Lillian Gish do it?
Yeah, but that's Gish Lillian.
Yeah.
This is me, you know me, sensitive, and my career is over, and
Just
where's
beginning.
my hair, and why does she smell, and why don't I smell, and why am I billing, and everything like that.
And this was the first time, or was the other one the first
That was the
time?
second time.
That was so this was your second
Yeah.
time. All right. So
Yeah.
so you were probably like, why aren't I part of the crew at this point? Listen, very,
Listen, here's the
Gavin-
deal. When you're a young actor, when you're a middle-aged actor, when you're an old actor, you think every role is your last role. So you go, I better take this.
Yeah.
I was an announcer
Yeah.
for Hollywood Squares.
What do you mean? You were the
Announcer.
like the voice.
Yeah.
You're the really
Yeah.
For how long?
Henry hired me, I think, for 2 seasons.
who with
It was Whoopi's show.
with Whoopi, not the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
what's his name? The original guy.
What's his name?
And
yeah.
his son was a baseball player.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
And there she is.
We got people. Oh, hello.
Welcome.
To our hi.
We do this. We always welcome the guest right on the air. Do you need to get comfortable or use anything? Or we have
You
coffee.
apparently.
And you have cut your hair.
It might be a little shorter, maybe. Yeah, maybe in the front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember you with longer hair. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maxwell has just walked into our studio. We have a habit of just starting. We like you to just come in and start talking.
Yeah.
Truly a great, great, talented singer. And I saw her at, I'm sorry, Kirsten or Kirsten?
Kirsten.
Kirsten, better.
That was
He
important.
he said Kirsten.
No, I didn't.
You wouldn't be the first. It's
I
okay.
didn't.
And I insisted
He's
it
just
was
throwing me under the
Kirsten.
bus for no reason.
Yeah, I'm totally under the bus. Yeah. But he looks guilty, right? He's good.
I
He's
just
a
met him.
musician, so he'll probably
Well,
ask
then he's
you-
definitely
I'm not,
guilty.
like, moving into your it's just this lives
Now,
here.
let me tell
love it.
you, you were on stage with Grace Kelly, whom we had on,
Oh, really?
and there couldn't be two more dissimilar two dissimilar ways
Yeah,
to go at
very
it.
different
And
approaches.
Well, almost anything next to Grace is different.
or anything next to Kirsten is different.
Okay. I would say Grace is more different than just about anybody that I've seen.
She's really special. She's definitely got a...
You were special.
Oh, thanks,
You're
Jeffrey.
so talented.
What's diminishing your specialness?
No, you are a wonderful, wonderful singer, and we had
Thank
a
you.
brief conversation on the phone.
You look nervous.
I'm
oh,
just,
you just-
settling
I don't,
in.
See, I don't get nervous.
Really?
No,
Ever?
no.
Can you hear
I
okay?
don't get that you're
Yeah,
nervous.
I can hear.
Okay.
I'm a basket case.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
The unfortunate day of coming, we were practically at war. And how was your
He's
drive
just
in?
talking
Because
about this
didn't we have?
podcast.
Did you hit the snow flurries?
A little bit, yeah. It was
Yeah,
nice.
it was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where shall we start?
At the beginning.
Who are you?
She's a wonderful singer who is rising and rising meteorically. We have the same friend, Miss Saint Catherine
Yes.
Schaefer,
Oh,
Paul
yes,
Schaefer's
Kathy Schaefer, yes.
wife.
Truly a
Or
saint.
rather, Paul Schaefer is her husband,
Right.
I'd rather say. And we are both huge fans. But
Mm-hmm.
Catherine invited me to this thing, and I was just floored by your talent. and your approach, which was beautiful and confident. And so this show is about having people on. You're perfect for this show because you're up and coming and rising, and what's it like? I mean, what's it like being you? I mean, what's it like at this stage?
Well,
just think of all the people sitting in their scaredy chairs who are going, I'm afraid to move. And here you are, this rising star.
Well, I would first say that I can relate to that feeling because I have it every day.
You do?
Sure, yeah.
Like, what do you have? I do too.
Well, I think there's a lot coming at everybody from all different angles.
Oh, boy.
And, it has a lot to do with how we handle what comes at us, which is a daily, I don't want to say battle because I don't want it to be negative, but a daily practice, I guess. And, there are sort of upswinging times when you feel like everything's flowing and you've got it going on. And then there are downswing times when you feel like, am I even on the right path?
But I don't think there are many actors who don't think that, who don't walk off the set and say,
yeah,
I stink.
Yeah.
Not like Sylvia the Seal.
Well, yeah. We were talking about the Love Boat.
Okay.
You don't know the Love Boat.
I guess not well enough to
Yeah, we're old.
comment.
I asked.
It's an old sitcom.
Okay,
wouldn't
I've
say
definitely
old.
heard of it.
Really? It's
Anywhere
from the
around me.
70s.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to. Can we talk about other things other than the Love Boat right now? We have a guest.
We can, but I'd like to get it in there.
I'm so glad you said that because I don't think anybody. I don't know of anybody who doesn't feel like that. Who are not driving home on the LIE saying, "I'm a fake."
Yeah, well, that's that imposter syndrome.
What's
thing.
that? I've never heard of it.
I mean, I just heard about that recently, but it's this idea that you are a fraud, as an actor or some kind of entertainer. That who is this? Who am I? And how did I get here?
It's like the fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's sort of trying to find a way to marry your true self with what you do, and it can be difficult, and you can kind of feel detached, like you're living two lives. Yeah.
Like you're standing next to yourself.
Yeah. I'm beside myself.
I'm beside myself. I do know that, and that's quite common. And that's really important to hear because people are out there. People think that actors and musicians and artists sit home filing their nails going, la, 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 la.
I don't think
la, 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 la. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I remember my first review as Caliban in The Tempest from the Detroit News. Jay Carr called my Caliban a beaded bag gone wrong.
What does that even mean?
Well, you were wearing...
I have beaded bag.
Yeah.
Beaded.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
I still had trouble with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still do now.
Wear a beaded bag?
No, I have trouble with that comment.
We don't forget comments like that, do we, Kirsten?
Well, it's like there
Have you
might be like a million beautiful spots on a wall, and the one dark one is the one that you
and it's the one like
focus
it's like
on.
New York Times, yay, LA Times, yay, and then there's the one, the Amsterdam boo boo, and they go not so good, and you go that's the one.
Yeah.
Or
They know.
I've seen better. Oh yeah, they know.
Yeah.
You're not big in Amsterdam.
So what's a day in your life like? Have you you're now? I said
You wondering-
fronting when we talked on the phone, and that's not what you say. What do you call it?
Opening.
Opening.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Opening. I'm
You're
opening
opening?
for Judy Collins.
Yeah, that's
Who's
crazy.
Coming up.
another
Thank
hero
you.
of mine.
Yeah, she's really
I
wonderful.
could not call her Judy. I would have to call her Miss Collins.
Miss Collins. Yeah.
But if you ever get a chance, will you tell her the third album changed my life?
Yeah.
Does she do Send in the Clowns every night?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
She's just really a
And she's
beautiful
nice,
human
right?
being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you playing? What places?
So she has a couple of dates coming up. Well, she's like always touring. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with her,
'Cause
honestly.
she was, when I was a little kid, I remember Anyway.
Yeah, no, she's really incredible. But I'm hopping on a couple of dates starting mid-February in Key West,
Oh, nice.
Clearwater, Florida, Lafayette,
Lafayette,
Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never been to Louisiana.
Palm Desert, California.
You ever been to New Orleans?
That's nice.
You've been to New Orleans.
I haven't been to New
No?
Orleans
You
yet.
haven't been to
I
New
know. I have
Orleans?
to go.
Yeah, you do.
It's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
that's what I've been
I mean,
hearing.
there's great music there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't not be a part of it.
Good food.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's it like opening for somebody?
It's great. I mean, it kind of takes the pressure off because there's already an audience there. You know,
Yeah,
and they're
that's great.
already excited to see
Are they excited to
this
see
person. Well, it's kind of fun because they don't know who the heck I am, you know, and so then I come out and that part can be nerve-wracking because
Sure.
there's always a part of me that's like, oh man, are they even gonna like me?
Right.
Like they don't want to see an opener,
Right.
you know.
They didn't come here to see me.
And then you just do your thing and really put your heart into it, and people respond, and it's always a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Your parents were teachers of opera?
Yeah, my mother was an opera singer,
Jeez.
and
With the Met?
no, she never made it to the Met.
New York City?
Yeah, she was. She met my dad, who also was involved in opera at
Oh,
the
cool.
Amato Opera, which was this really tiny opera house on the Bowery.
Oh, beautiful.
And so, yeah, they were there, and my uncles, both of their brothers, were singing there. And when I was born, and my brother, we started singing there. So it was like a whole. That was my early life. Was
So you can sing
opera.
opera? You can sing in the opera range?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
huh.
Something that I don't get to do very often, but
What's
I
the
do
biggest
enjoy
role
it.
you've played in Opera Land?
the last time I did that, I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I was in the Magic Flute. I was the first spirit
Yeah.
when I was like 12. That was fun.
My father was at the San Francisco Opera, was one of the guys who held the sword. I found out that later.
Yeah,
It might be a lie, but
that's a good lie.
Yeah,
I like
it's a
that.
Real good one.
Yeah.
Did you go to conservatory and study
No,
that?
well, when I was in high school, I mean, everybody's picking where they want to go to college, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I felt like I got to pick something, and then I chose to go to SUNY Potsdam, which is way up
Yep.
upstate.
Sure.
And my music teachers were like, you know, the Crane School of Music is their conservatory. Why don't you audition for music school? And I was like, oh, duh. Both my parents went to music school. It didn't even occur to me that that was something I could pursue.
Oh, wonderful.
So then I worked on this repertoire, and I auditioned, and I didn't get in. And then I had to,
Tell
kind
me
of,
about that. Why didn't you get in?
Wait, as a singer?
yeah, classical for vocal
I was a piano major.
performance. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not know that about me?
I didn't actually care.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, it was halfway through the year because I was late. I hadn't decided to do this until I was already on my way there. So, I don't know. You know, maybe I didn't really want that to be vocally, classically trained for 4 years because it's really intense.
Yeah.
And even though I love that music and I love singing that way, I just, you know, if I had really wanted it, I think I would have auditioned again.
Now, when you say singing that way, because I'm curious, because your voice is, I don't have the words, but it's not It's not, your presentation is not operatic.
Yeah.
How different is that voice? I mean, can you even describe it?
It just comes from a different place, I think.
Diaphragm and all that.
Yeah,
and-
it's just the way that the air leaves your body is different.
I had
differently.
a love affair with opera. I used to go a lot when I lived in San Francisco, and then all of a sudden, something happened to me where I went, "This is a lot of hooey," and it's mostly not the music; it's just the plots.
Well, yeah,
They're
they're
just
over the top.
Simple and
yeah,
I mean, it's hilarious.
So,
You know,
It's
they're
hilarious.
pretty- it's comedy mostly,
yeah,
or melodrama.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you when did you start out clubbing and doing all that.
Um,
And how did your parents take that?
well, they've always been really supportive of whatever. They just want me to be happy. So
Jeez.
working on that.
Wow.
But I had started writing songs in high school, so I already was playing guitar and writing and kind of starting to feel that out. And when I didn't get into the music school, I took a creative writing class and
cool.
fell in love with that. And I figured if I'm going to be here for 4 years and I want to be a songwriter, I might as well do creative writing. So that's
Right.
what I majored
And are
in.
you still doing that?
I don't write like short stories and things like I did for school. If I write, it's going to be a song usually, or maybe a poem. But it was good for me to kind of expand my, writing horizon.
So how does it happen? You're
Writing a
driving
song?
along. You're in a whiteout on the highway, and all of a sudden, on this Linda Ronstadt documentary, she said sometimes it just happens at the same time,
Yeah,
and you have to just
yeah,
the compulsion. But I've never understood it. I mean, I understand what we do, we actors. I don't even really understand that, but I've never understood the composer performer mode. Have you seen the documentary about Yoko and John?
no,
Yes.
Oh, I recommend it.
okay,
About the making of Imagine.
Yes.
That's all you're going to say is yes?
I have opinions about it.
Okay. Oh, well, you talk to me because I think it's utter gold. But they talk about that. They
Oh.
talk about that fusion
yeah,
and how it's and
You're talking about the one where they basically give Yoko credit for writing that.
kind of. But I
Yeah.
didn't get that. I just got that it was a bunch of artists in a room who literally combusted. I mean, who literally just it all came to them.
yeah,
It wasn't no, hey, golly, listen to this. They were all in this thing.
yeah.
Can you talk about that without sounding like, a beatnik or
I'll do my best.
yeah, hit it.
Well, I think, especially since we were talking on the phone too about
Yeah.
the dry spells
Yeah.
and how I haven't written anything fully finished song in like 2 years.
Really? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and I
What
think
is a dry spell? Because most of our listeners are sitting in their chair going, I think I'm in a dry spell.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it happens to everybody,
Everybody.
and it's totally normal. I have to remind myself that every
Yep,
day.
yep.
And it's important, I think, we go through phases of collecting, and experiencing the environment, and then phases of processing what we saw, and then phases of putting it back out in, whatever form we express ourselves. So I guess this is a really long collection phase for me. But I think that relates to what is inspiration, or how do you like get that lightning strike. And I think it has to do with getting out of the way,
Ooh.
because if you're trying too hard, then there's no clear path for the message to come through. And I think that
If you're at home listening to that, something very important just got said. No, really,
Yeah.
of letting go.
yeah, and
And
I mean,
not grasping so hard that nothing can come
it's
through.
hard. It's really hard to do, but I
Because
think
there's a
it's
panic
true.
that sets in.
Yeah, and then and the other piece of that is being a really critical judge of
You?
yourself, and I
Yeah,
do that.
me
Yeah,
too.
so it's like one line comes out, and I'm already like, oh, that's not good enough. And how are you going to create
Where'd that
anything?
come from?
I don't know. There's
So I totally
bad
relate.
voice.
I'm a songwriter, and
Yeah.
I totally relate with what you're talking about. And I try to not get out of the way. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you just take a break, right?
yeah,
But sometimes what I'll do is intentionally write bad things.
yeah. You have to.
You know,
You have to just write the freaking song.
right. Just start writing it, and then you record it a little bit. Just get it down, and then come back to it,
Yeah,
and then you'll find the gems in there.
yeah.
Well, for instance, listen to this.
What?
This is something that he wrote.
No, I don't have that ready.
Ready? Go.
No, I don't have anything.
Go. No.
It's a
This is
well-oiled
No, no,
machine
the
here.
theme song of our show.
our theme song.
This is what he wrote. This is when the air is clear.
But I just did this
Christine.
as it was like I literally hit the beat,
Yeah.
and then I just played this.
About as mediocre as you can.
My biggest fan.
This has nothing to do with
Everything. It has everything.
one aspect to do with anything in my character.
You,
Not even like the shaker a little
This
bit.
could be played at a bris.
first of all, it has been. And yeah, but I thought of you when I wrote it.
Oh, big deal.
Okay, we're gonna go with this. How
Did
many?
you really?
What the hell do you think I was doing?
I don't know.
I said, "Oh, we need a theme."
What do you think of this, honestly?
It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
But that's the style is relaxing. Yeah, so my friend Vaylor, I went to him and I said, "Do you want to do your own version of it?" Right. So he made his version of it. I think it's here. Nope.
Oh, that's
Nope.
remix.
Yeah, remix.
It's on another
Listen,
button.
first of all, we're already behind the 8 ball. His name is Vaylor.
Vaylor. It's Vaylor
So
Trucks.
what are we going to take? What are we going to take from a guy? His name is Vaylor.
Okay, so Vaylor Trucks is the son of the late great Butch Trucks,
Oh.
drummer of the Allman Brothers.
Oh my goodness.
Cousin to, Derek Trucks, and he's in that whole. Do you know the Allman Brothers album, Brothers and Sisters, where it's a
Yes.
picture of a
I'd
young
like to get
child on the cover of the most iconic, or one of the most iconic albums? That's Vaylor.
Oh my God, that's Vaylor.
And
I don't care about any of
but we
this.
need to get Vaylor in
I
here.
want it good. Tell him to start walking. How old is he?
Is my
Tell him to start walking. I want to talk about Kirsten. So how'd you get out of that dry spell?
Vaylor's one of your only listeners, just so you know.
Hi, Baylor.
I feel
Are your
it.
ears ringing? Oh, how did I get out? Well, I don't think I'm out yet.
Oh,
I'm still working on it. And actually, that's another thing that I had mentioned on the phone about the artist's way.
mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Talk
yeah.
about that.
Well, that was actually interesting how it came to me because the second time I opened for Judy Collins, I'm always really tentative about getting in the way. I don't want to disturb the performer. And she came to my dressing room and came in and we sat down together and I was like, oh my God. And she asked me, what I was up to and am I writing? And I said, I've really been struggling with that. And so she said, oh, you should read this book called The Artist's Way. And so she mailed it to me. And then it turned out that my godmother had taught classes, like at circles with the book for years. And so she sent me the workbook, and it just was all like coming at me from all different angles. And all these people in my life were had experiences with it. So I felt like
Well, that was the
I was
book.
really connected.
And
yeah.
I go to it for when I was writing my book. I went to it, except I had a daunting experience that you can relate to. Is I read the book and I went, well, what am I doing? The book has already been written, and she writes beautifully.
Yeah. Well, there's
but
always
what
room
you guys
for
were
more.
saying about just write, there's a wonderful writer that I cite often on this show called Annie Lamott, and she has a saying in Bird by Bird. Is one of it. You have to write shitty first drafts.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm writing right now. I'm writing a book, and that thing that happens between your head and the typewriter, I don't get it. I went, well, wait a minute, that's not what I'm thinking, and what I'm writing is not. So I've come to this other thing where I now dictate, and I have somebody type it up for me, and that works a lot better. I'm a better writer in my head than
Well, it's
I am.
naturally flowing. There's less room for the editor maybe to get in there.
Yeah, but I remember my first dry spell, and I went to my acting teacher and I said, I don't understand what's happening. And he said, you're doing things. He didn't mention the love book. He said, you're doing things right now. You're gaining, you're gaining in popularity, and the eyes are on you. And when the eyes get on you, there's a certain stricture. I can see it in your face. You just changed. There's that certain tightness and you aim to please a little more.
Yeah,
And
that's a
you're
bad one.
very cognizant
Mm-hmm.
of what other people say about you, and that has to be tossed out the window.
Yeah.
It just has
How do you
to be
do that?
easier said than done, by the way.
Yeah.
You know that they always people say, let go, let go, let go. Well, F them. I mean, it's hard. It's one thing to say, but let go is hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
How do you stop caring what other people think?
It'll come. You're still young.
I think you get to a place where you say, may I swear? May I be profane?
Mm.
You
Or
already
you say,
have
fuck
been.
it. I don't care what you say. This is for me.
Yeah.
I'm reading some poetry right now, and these guys, they didn't care.
Right.
You know? I mean, did Joe Cocker care? Did Joan Baez care? Did Bob Dylan care? None
No.
of these guys cared.
Well, there's three secret ingredients to being a great performer: honesty, fearlessness, and intention.
Oh, God.
And if you can master those three things,
Yeah.
you'll be great. And fearlessness is you either got that or you don't. Like
Yeah.
Joe Cocker was fearless.
Well, you know, I've taught acting for 40 plus years. I think every time I say it, I add 10 more years.
Yeah, you just
Or take away 10.
just say plus plus.
Okay. And I had teachers, I had students who would have a tragedy in their family, like a parent would die or something like that, and they had to leave class and possibly the acting field. And their last scenes were always remarkable because they just didn't
Yeah.
care.
Right. Get out of your head.
And I'm not saying that someone has to die for you to not care. I'm just saying there comes that thing where you go, I just can't carry this luggage around anymore.
Yeah.
It's not important to me.
Right.
Easier said than done, and it comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you can relate. Who's the teacher that sparked you? I mean, we all have one teacher who just said, you know, that we always refer to and just say that's the one, or maybe there's more. But was there one? I didn't ask you on this one. Was there one?
You know, I feel like I've had so many really wonderful teachers in my life in all different forms.
Yeah, but you got to pick one.
Is this thing over yet?
Oh,
Gotta pick
you don't
one.
have to answer it.
Yeah, you know, I don't have one particular person. It's been like it takes a village kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's just so many people who've been in my corner.
Well, I had a teacher who just said, because the other actor was complaining about me. This was in junior high school because I'd gone off script and I was improvising, and he yelled out, you know, leave him alone, leave him alone. He knows what he's doing. And it was the first time that anybody had ever said I knew what I was doing, including, I'd never heard that before. So I was just wondering if you had a moment like that. You
gave
kind
you
of
that confidence kind of thing.
It didn't give me confidence as much as it went, oh, I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This, unfortunately, was the only area I had that I knew what I was doing. But
Yeah, well, at least there's one.
there's always one. Yeah, and I've always recounted on that. So, what else?
What else? Well, I will say that I finished The Artist's Way, and I feel like I need to start all over again because
It's a process.
I need to do it again. And I'm just, in general, I'm trying to,
Are you tough on yourself?
yeah.
I would guess, because I'm a teacher, I would guess that's standing in the way.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just weird because I didn't.
There's nothing wrong with you, by the way, of standing in the way.
Yeah.
I think you're superb. I don't want
Thanks.
Ms. Schaefer to get mad at me. I think you're superb. I grasped what you were doing immediately. First of all, one of the things you don't do is you don't overpresent yourself. You just say, here I am. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it. It's very honest. It's very simple. There's not a lot of toots and whistles about that. So you're a very honest presence, and that's almost unparalleled in our business. So Yeah, I do the same thing. I don't know. And there's no reward to it. It's just like, do you worry?
Mm.
Do you worry?
Oh, yeah.
What do you worry about?
Everything.
Oh, gosh. Should
And
we
it's-
join a club? The Jeffrey Kirsten Worry Club.
Yeah, we can start that.
Yeah, we'll start.
think we already did.
What should membership be? Like $40.
40 plus.
Yeah, and we'll listen to your
We can
worry.
add 10 every time.
How about we'll listen to your worry and laugh at the end. The things I worry about. Wow.
I know. Isn't it
I worry
ridiculous?
about making a peanut butter sandwich for my kid.
Well, that's not a terrible thing to worry about.
It is if
But
you've made
also-
500 peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You know.
I mean,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
ideally we wouldn't give any of our energy.
I think
to
it
that.
also has to do with the media, and it has to do with we're in a different area where everyone has an opinion about something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
well,
of course we read them,
Sure.
or you have friends like I do who tell you about them, call you and say, "Oh, I saw that review. Wow, how are you?" And you go, "Well, I was fine till this call." And the eyes on you. I would say, but I don't have a magic. Just the next action, and risk. No risk, no nothing.
Yeah.
And people don't care.
Right. Ultimately, like you're just gonna do what you do, and
You got to do
they're
it.
gonna
but you
feel
do.
however they
People
feel.
don't care, and we think everybody's going, "What's Kirsten thinking right now?
Right.
What's Kirsten?" And they're not.
Like they have a life.
Yeah, and they have a life, and they're waiting for the rockets to come in. What a day! What a day! What a day!
Yeah.
It's hard. I was driving today in a, what do you call a snow slurry? A flurry?
Squall.
A squall. How
Oh,
beautiful!
the squall.
And I went,
Yeah.
what a beautiful squall! And that was the best thing I could think about it. That last 20 seconds, 30, about the most boring thing you ever heard.
Yeah,
It was way up there, wasn't
but
it?
It was imagery.
I got sleepy.
We throw a little imagery in there.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's good.
Now, I have asked you if you would play something
Yeah.
for us. We would be, but you don't have to.
No, I'd be happy to.
I could sing.
But that's okay.
No,
I could
please
do my
don't.
bar mitzvah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what a bar mitzvah is?
I know what a bar mitzvah is.
What is it?
Don't put her on the spot.
But
with what
is
is
there
it? I'm not even sure.
particular
And I've been to a
song?
million. I've had one. Mine was fantastic.
Baruch es Adonai hamavarach.
We served egg creams at my bar mitzvah.
Wow.
Not the ceremony, but yeah.
We did donut holes, and the thing. Do you know that I wore pajamas at my bar mitzvah?
Well, you were high.
No,
Yes.
I've never said this. I've never.
You have said you were high at your bar mitzvah.
Kirsten, why don't you get your equipment while I tell
Okay,
this
you
very
guys-
boring story? I wore pajamas because I was kind of
Sleepy?
would you stop? I was kind of the feeling of wool against my body. I couldn't take it.
Wait, you're saying under your suit you wore pajamas?
Yes, sir. And to look at me, he went normal from the waist up.
Like, could you?
From the waist down, we're talking about a different animal.
So, could people tell?
I was wearing. I looked like I was padded.
Could you see them sticking out from the bottom?
No, not. We didn't get there. All you could just say is there's something terribly, terribly wrong with this bar mitzvah boy from the waist down.
You were a pain in the ass kid, weren't you? To demand, because
I snuck it under the. They didn't know. They didn't know until they were looking up at the bima with their son, doing his bar mitzvah that he was wearing.
They're like, has he put on some weight?
And you wonder about the therapy bills.
But you're not wearing them now.
Not as yet.
We should have a pajama only.
I wish the
podcast.
audience could see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Kirsten getting ready, and I always get. It's so great. I love artists. I wish I were one.
Let's make sure that we can hear you well.
Yeah. Do you want to? Should I?
I would say we're gonna go because It's
You know, this is my
directional.
favorite part when we do this stuff.
Well, it's lovely. You never asked me to play.
Look at the theme.
So this is a request of A Case of You by Joni Mitchell.
You don't have to.
I want to.
Oh,
I love this song. This is what I finish all my shows with.
oh yeah.
Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada, oh Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. I'd still be on my feet. Oh, I'm a lonely painter. I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, and I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, said, love is touching souls. Surely you touched mine, 'cause part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, bitter and so sweet. I could drink a case of you. Still, I'd be on my feet. I would still be on my I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours, she knew your life, she knew your devils and your deeds, and she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, bitter and so sweet. I could drink a case of you. still. I know it's still. And it's still beyond my feet.
Wow. Thank you. That's
you.
beautiful. Stunning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really stunning. I don't see you have any problems. Keep worrying or whatever you're doing, whatever your process is, because it's working.
working
Wow,
for me?
thank you. That really brought me back. And what a rendition. What a song.
Yeah,
But you have such a beautiful instrument.
thank you.
Did you, we can edit this if you do, but do you have representation?
Aside from Kathy Schaefer, no.
Well, listen, that's great representation.
No, not officially, no.
Anybody would hear that? Anybody would put money down, telling you. We have it.
How long have you been at it as a solo artist?
Wow.
I mean,
I'm knocked out.
I guess technically when I was in college, when I first started, like, I'm going to be a singer-songwriter, and I started going to open mic religiously and just working
What's
on
open mic
the
mean?
craft. It means you go to, it's usually like hosted in a cafe, and they have, you sign up, and
Oh, you
people
do 3
take
songs?
turns. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
1 or 3 songs, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I used to do to.
What was the first one like? You remember it?
Probably the first time was actually when I was home. I probably went with my mom because she sings opera, but she also plays guitar and writes songs. And
Oh, God, you're so lucky.
I really am.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
And she and I went together to this open mic on Long Island, and that was kind of where I started to get
How
a
old were
sense
you?
for that. Probably, I was probably in college, probably
And your
17,
mother went with you?
18.
That's so cool.
Yeah. We have a
My dad did that. He would go to
yeah.
he would go to anything I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
It's
was very
really,
supportive.
I think it helps a lot to have
Oh.
that support.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It'd be very different without that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't even know how to say this, but I mean, anybody who'd be listening, don't say anything smartass. Who would be listening to this podcast? Wow, I can't recommend.
Can't win.
You
Just to be clear, you're talking to me and not.
and
I'm allowed to say something smart.
I'm allowed
Please.
to say how talented Kirsten is, and she needs representation. Kathy and I need to get on this. Wow,
Yes.
Kathy. But she loves you, and now I can. And you're very human, and you know when people perform, we see other things. We see into their unconscious. Now people are really turning off their podcast, but we see everything. We see beyond. And as I was watching you, just even putting your stuff together, I went, and she's a real artist. You're going to do very well.
Thank you.
And we are so honored to have you. Is there anything you haven't covered, or anything we haven't covered? What do you say to that person in the scaredy chair?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, there's a lot of like common, I guess, encouraging words that people have for situations like that. Like,
Please tell me one.
well, I guess like, time is going to go by anyway. It's happening. Life is happening. So
Life is in session.
life is in session, and it's never going to be, well, I guess at some point it might be out of session.
Not really, but
it's happening.
it depends on your point of view.
And you can decide to participate or not, and you can decide how to participate. And
Yeah.
just the fact that, a week from now, I'm not saying that I'm an expert or that I actually follow this advice. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But a week from now, you could either have, written a song, whether it's good or not written a song,
Right.
or a year from now or 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to wake up one day and be like, I could have been writing this whole time.
Right, rather than seeing the 5th season of Jeopardy or something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is a very good show.
Quick plug for Jeopardy.
I do like
Which season's your favorite?
what has it been on, 40 years?
I don't know.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, what you say is
40 plus.
very important about, now, do it now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about expectation,
Yeah.
risk, write the shitty first draft. It's really hard. And I've been around this parking lot for some years, and it has different manifestations.
Mm-hmm.
I know worry doesn't help anything.
Mm.
It just gets you worry. I mean, if worry gets you over to your desk, I guess.
Yeah, if you can turn it into
Yeah,
fuel.
yeah. But just worry. I mean, just take your finger and just go around like that, and it doesn't touch anything. It's meaningless.
Yeah.
But I would like to spend the remaining time. Have you heard about the Dash?
No.
It's this poem about the Dash, and it's in the poem it refers to the tombstone, and it has the date of birth, and then it has the dash, and then it's the date of departure, and the dash is what we got,
Right.
And for a while there, going through a kind of a tough period, I put the dash there just to remind me. That it's not about the past, it's not about the future, it's about right now.
Yeah.
And so I call it the dash, and it's really important. But I don't know if that gets anybody out of the scaredy chair. I mean, I know actors out in L.A. who are waiting for their, the agents make their calls at 6:00, have their call list, and that's when they call out to their clients who have called in. And I know about that actor who sits in his worry chair and waits for the offer of 6 lines on a pilot rather than going to do, let's say, a lead in a repertory theater or making bad decisions.
Sure.
And I think also, I don't know what you think about this, having the right people around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whew.
Yeah.
Important, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I guess, the world that you have created for yourself, and you're choosing the people who are around you, and that's a reflection of who you are, and what you're doing. So, if you look around and you see a bunch of people who are sitting in the worry chair and not making anything happen, and you realize you're doing the same thing, it means that you probably need to bring some new life into your circle,
Yeah, do some recasting.
Yeah.
Basically,
right
that person. I mean, if we all need an attaboy, attagirl in our life, and if you're not getting that,
and it's hard. I mean, I think it's also good to remember that there's nothing wrong with being who you are in that moment, even if that is worried, and also like that it's okay to have that person, that external voice saying, hey, you got to do this thing.
Yes.
Accepting help. That's a big one for me that I'm learning still. That's hard.
Talk to me about that, because that's huge.
I think that there's this feeling that or at least I feel that I have to accomplish things on my own. I have to take care of everything. Maybe it has to do with control or just having trouble receiving.
You get off that because you can't.
I
know.
No
one ever has.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Even to this point, I haven't. I mean, clearly.
I would like to throw in just I just know that you can't do this all by yourself.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
You have to.
Yeah.
I call it the 5,000-pound phone. You have to pick up that phone and just say, "I just don't say anything. I got to talk."
Yeah.
And you have to have people like that in your life who will tell you the truth,
right?
But will also say, "Attaboy, you're doing great."
Make the unreasonable request.
He's like that. Yeah. That's why we're sitting here in this dreary.
This is.
Recording studio.
This is our nicest studio. You should see the other one.
Oh
Lucky
yeah,
me.
that one.
It's in the sewer.
Yeah, it was in the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
And the
missed
rent
that.
was just too much.
It was a bit.
But he's that person for me. He's the reason I'm sitting here. Because he just came over
Yeah.
and just said, "Hey, stupid, weren't you on Love Boat?"
Right.
And then we got
And
into
you're like,
this.
which time?
And you said, would you want to do a podcast? And I said, sure. What's a podcast? And here we are.
And you're still not really sure.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Remember, I put him through hell. I'm not. No, I'm the worst. I'm
And you're
I'm
very
stupid.
good at it.
at being the worst.
Well, no, at being
Among
on
other
mic,
things.
you're good at this. I listen to all of these. I know. I
You
go
know
through them.
why I'm quote good, quote unquote at this? Because I don't censor myself, and we have conversations and we talk, and then we invite people that we like Kirsten.
You're also, if I may say,
This is about Kirsten.
no, but
Right now it's about you.
you're talented. You know, it's but it's true though. You know, there's like Kirsten's talented. You know, like this is why we're interested.
Oh, that's true. If you're not talented, you should stay in your scaredy chair.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, but you
But
should,
you want to know
should
something?
ask
I
people
will
for
tell you.
help.
There's a lot of people who've gotten out of that scaredy chair who are not as talented as people who've stayed in that
Well, the
scaredy
other
chair.
thing-
Of course.
Yeah.
that's-
People who just said,
Of course, but you should always ask for help
Yeah.
because you know.
always.
Look, you seem a lot younger than me. You know, I regret when I was your age not
Yeah.
pushing harder and
Yeah.
asking for more help and honing my craft. And I was a touring musician in the 90s. I'd
Yeah.
done over 2,000 live shows.
Wow.
And so, but I fully blew it. And I could have meandered my way into a
Well, those
career there.
DWIs didn't help either.
Well, they were fun.
But
Yeah.
it's true. You do have to ask for help. I remember going up to Arthur Penn and saying, "Can I take this role over when this actor leaves?" And he went, "I never thought of you.
Yeah.
Of course you can."
And that's all about you because people like to help.
Yeah.
That's what you
Right.
don't realize. Like,
You think
Right.
that's true?
oh, absolutely. People love to help. Not all the time for everything. They don't want to be, if you're nudgy.
Kirsten's laughing at me because I don't know if I believe that. But you've caught me at a very, what is it called?
Cynical. Jaded.
Well,
No. What's wrong with you?
all those,
Jeffrey,
all those.
why do you think I'm here?
I don't know, St. Stephen. Why
How
are
much
you?
am I? How much? What am I getting paid for? How much am I getting paid today?
16,000.
I get. This is nothing, right? This is an opportunity. It's like this would be fun because
Are you having fun?
I love doing this with you.
Yeah.
There's been a few times that.
Well,
it
I was late that one
Well,
time, and you were an asshole.
Oh, I am an asshole.
You're not an asshole.
That's a lot of
I mean,
negative
you're not
self-talk.
You're not likable, but
Well,
you're-
that's different.
Yeah.
No, but it's people like to do things, and so it's always surprising when you should just.
I'm going to
The
be
worst-
asking somebody for help this afternoon. Actually,
My wife says, "You get 100% of what you don't ask for."
now that is smart. You tell your wife that's going right in the
She's
book.
clearly smart.
I'm writing.
She married me, so she's obviously smart.
Yeah.
But no, but it's true though. Like at the end of the day, who cares what other people think? Because there's nothing you can do about it anyway. You have no
Yeah.
idea what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So you're really just thinking about what they might be thinking, and it's all just ridiculous.
When I was on social media before
you were on social media?
I did the Facebook and the Twitter and all like that. When you
Call it the Facebook,
sounds so Jewish, right? The Facebook.
you
Hey, I'm on the Facebook.
kids on the Facebook.
You would scroll down and write comments about people who do a song or a thing.
Yeah.
And the comments,
That's a scary place.
that's a scary place. And I'm afraid that's part of, would you come back and visit us and bring us songs?
Yeah.
And anybody
course.
listening to this, we need to, and Kathy, we need to get to work. We need to, who do you want for an agent?
I'll have to get back to you.
Yeah, I have to get back to you too. I know no one.
Oh, great.
I know him.
We're off to a good start.
She could open for a live podcast.
Are there agents for musicians?
Of course
I think
there
they're
are.
around.
Well, I don't know, and you don't have to talk to me in that tone of voice.
Wouldn't you? I don't have one, so I don't know. I assume, though.
Are there?
I hope so.
Managers.
I think it's booking agents.
You
right?
know, it's just an interesting time right now, I think, because
God.
I mean, you could say that about any time, but right now, I think that there's a lot of
Fear.
well, that's the underlying.
Sorry.
But I think there's a lot of just different ways to do this, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, there's so many people who are independent and
And
taking
publishing,
care of everything.
too. Publishing a book.
Right.
You publish your own book.
You can do it all. And so it's kind of like I'm at a point for myself where I've been mostly doing this on my own, at least like, you know, the managing, navigating, booking my shows and everything.
Really?
Yeah. And so, you know, when I consider taking somebody else on, you know, there's a certain level of, there's a transition and I'd be giving up some control, and which is good if it's going to help me.
Do you like
know.
control?
I think I do.
Yeah. I can see. I just saw it.
Well, I think that it's like,
I would.
used to-
I just got the fact that you don't take
he's seeing my,
fools
soul.
lightly. What is that? What is that phrase?
Oh,
you don't suffer fools.
perhaps. I don't know. I think, I think there's just a lot of ways to do it and different ways to piece it together. And I was actually just talking to Grace Kelly about this, about how you could, you know, as opposed to like having an official agent or something, you might have sort of like an intern and they work with you as a team and you both are doing all the things, you know, and kind of juggling it together or whatever. There's just, you know, I mean, I don't know, but I also, I don't really know how things work. I'm just discovering it as I go.
But sometimes that's a blessing because rules are made to be broken.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just have to ask the question. I remember I was this will throw you. I think it was Doogie Howser. Do you remember Doogie Howser?
Of course.
I did Doogie Howser. Oh, sorry. I think I just had a stroke. I did Doogie Howser,
were you
and I
a
was
patient
talking,
or a doctor?
I was at the gym, and I saw the director, and I said, "Oh,
No, on the show, were you a patient or a doctor?
I don't know. I don't even know what I did.
Was there an animal in there? Because you seem to do a lot of
SEAL stuff.
seals and monkeys.
No, I don't remember that, but I remember that young man
Lucille.
was a young kid.
Yeah.
Doogie.
Yeah.
But
Neil
the
Patrick,
director was in the gym. We were at the gym, and he said, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm doing a Doogie Howser. And I said, well, what's my role?
Mm-hmm.
And I was broke. I was as broke as you could get. And he said, would you do it? I went, yeah. He says, it's only 3 scenes. I went, yeah. Absolutely. So I was there the next day. People came up to me and said, is there something wrong? What are you doing here? And I said, hey, man.
So this is the 80s.
Don't.
No. I'm just trying to get a timeline here.
1914.
No. This is the 80s. Mid-80s.
Yeah.
So it's,
But you know what happened that afternoon?
what?
I went to the commissary
Yeah.
with Lawrence Pressman, the great Lawrence Pressman who played the father on that show, and which is another thing I don't do. And I went to the commissary, and a guy, this is weird, a guy named Rudy, with whom I'd had a bit of a falling out, and I were looking at each other. Then I went, fuck it. Don't hold on to grudges. And I waved, hi, Rudy. And he went, and really recognized it. And then he got up and he pointed to me, to someone who was sitting all the way over there, and went to me. And that person was Mel Brooks.
Heard of it.
And Mel Brooks went back to I went over to say hello. And Mel Brooks allegedly went back to his office, and I was in his next film from that writing session on.
Wait, what Mel Brooks film were you in? I know them all.
It was the one he was in.
He's in all of them.
Do it. Get on Google, someone quick,
Oh,
and then we're gonna
jeez.
let Kirsten go back to
We're
her
in
life.
Spaceballs.
Oh, not Spaceball.
Hey, Spaceballs is
I know.
great.
I almost had it. Oh gosh, Kirsten, I'm so sorry. I'm wasting your time.
No, this is good.
It's funny.
stuff.
Kirsten just got up and left.
She left 10 minutes ago. What's
What
your
is it?
name?
Jeffrey Tambor.
Okay, there it is. Not Jeffrey
That's pretty
Tam.
wild, though, because you just
It's a good
you
picture of you right there.
took a chance on something sort of
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
And then there was
And there it
the
was.
Can you
opportunity.
give me a time period? You have quite a list here.
yeah.
You've been in a lot of stuff.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, well,
Oh God.
I'm not getting anything under Mel because it's not going to show. It's just going to say like what decade.
Anyway, let the audience do this.
I'll figure it out.
No, it's
Yeah.
really
You
interesting
guys talk.
No, but
how
what's
that
it?
happens.
Yeah, it was
Or,
interesting
like,
because I broke all
trusting-
the rules. All the rules. They say,
Yeah.
darling, we're looking for you and
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. Oh no, I never go to the commissary, which I don't. I don't like going to the commissary. And I went, I'm going to go to the commissary.
Life stinks.
Life stinks.
It's a good one. That's with his wife, right? Isn't she in that one?
Mm-mm.
No, she wasn't in that. Okay.
I will tell you one direction that he gave me though. He said, all right, so you come in here and you do this and you get up there and you go, wah, wah, wah. And then you go over there and you sit down and go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you go and you go, Vidano, Badano. And then you go over there and you sit down and then you smoke a cigarette. And I said, no. He goes, okay, do what you want. It's a true story. Miss Kirsten, it has been such an honor.
Thank
and
you.
May I say something?
I guess you're going to anyway.
You.
Wow.
Ouch.
Quick learner.
Ow. That hurt.
I mean, it is your name in
Ow.
the title, you know.
Yes, please say
I thought
something.
you were talented at the Harvey School, but you are through the roof.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you. In a time that we need artists more than ever, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean,
Forget it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, when you come back, can you bring me a theme song? Thanks.
could you record your own version of this?
I'll bet you can.
Well, I know she can.
But will she?
Hideous.
This is nice.
It's hideous.
Because you're going to be singing it on the way home.
We sang this about my bar mitzvah. Just think. Close your eyes and think of
Adonai.
pajamas.
Think of pajama.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
me.
having.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having. No, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having.
Thank you for having.
I've been had.
Keep on having.
Keep on having.
That's actually really nice.
And go write a bad song so you can write some good ones.
I know.
Yeah.
I will.
What a great thing you just said. Go write some bad songs so you can write a good one.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Let's cut that from the show.